Hi everybody and welcome to Stamping with Sarah. A lot of you have inquired about how I made these adorable little minion invitations. So now that I finally have the time to sit down and show you how to make these, I will take you through the steps on how to make these. Bear with me, this is my first video. I don't do a lot of them, so I am going to try my best and I hope everything goes smoothly. Today we're going to be making the Cyclops minion. I happen to have one here that's already done. Please forgive the lighting in my room. It's not the best either. So we've got this little Cyclops minion we're going to be making. The supplies that you need for this particular project are the Stampin' Up! Owl Builder Punch. You will need a 1 3/8 or similar size circle punch. This one is also from Stampin' Up. And also the Stampin' Up! Banner punch or something similar to the banner punch. These last two are going to be for the balloon on the project. There's two of them. You're also going to need a Big Shot or a Texture Boutique of something to emboss your cardstock with. Adhesive, glue dots, whatever you can find, whatever that you use for adhesive. Dimensionals. And some twine. And of course you're going to need your paper. I have black, blue. This is the Pacific Point blue from Stampin' Up. I found that it works really well for the blue that matches the minions. This particular minion was made with Daffodil Delight. I am out of Daffodil Delight from making 16 invitations worth. So I'm actually going to use a paler yellow for this project. There again, I'm sorry, the light here kind of stinks. And then we also just have white. So the first thing we're going to do in our process here, and it does take quite a while to get these, but when they are done, they are adorably worth it. We're going to take our owl punch and unlock. We're going to take our piece of yellow that we've already cut, and this can be about 2 inches by 1 3/4 inches, just enough to get into your punch. You don't want to waste a lot of paper. So we're going to put that in, and we're going to get it as close to just the owl image as possible because we don't want to waste a lot of paper. We're going to use this yellow for a few other things. And we're going to punch that little owl out. We're going to save this paper because we're going to punch a few other things out of it. Now this is what it looks like after it's punched out. To get the rounded shape that you need for the minion, we are simply just going to take these 2 ears right here. We're going to cut these 2 ears off. 1, 2. Okay, there we go. And we'll get rid of those. Okay, now we have our rounded owl with no ears. It's going to be a minion, so we're going to put that down. The next step in the process to this is punching out the blue body part piece right here. In your punch, it looks like a vest. So we're going to take our small piece of blue, and there again, we're going to get it just as much to fill just that piece of the slot as we can. Here, we're going to punch that out. Okay, set that blue aside again. Now the important thing with this piece of blue is that you'll notice it has a slat on top here. We're going to cut this slat off. It needs to be straight. So we're going to just take this and we're going to cut it straight just like that. Okay, now that you've got that, this piece here, we are now going to take it and we're going to glue it onto our minion. So I'm going to use just a little bit of snail. And we're going to glue it right onto our minion here. Now you'll notice that when you've punched your minion that the feet on your minion are yellow. That's not a problem. You can take any black marker or journaling marker, etc., and color the feet in, and you can do that at any time. Because minions have black feet. So we've decided that we like them better with black feet. So the darker the ink, the better. The paper doesn't show through. Okay, so we've got our blue body and our now newly black colored feet. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the straps that go on the minion. We're going to make these two little shoulder straps here. And that was simply just a little teeny tiny piece of our blue cardstock. You can see here, this one is about 1 3/4 inches long. It's not very long at all. We're simply just going to cut it in half into two. It doesn't really even have to be equal pieces because we're just going to glue them right onto our minion anyway. And it's okay that they are a bit longer because we'll just trim them off. So I like to take my runner, hit them with adhesive, and then just peel them up. So these are going to be your straps for the body or for the bodysuit. And you're going to glue those on there like that. Now you'll notice that they are quite a bit longer. So that's simple enough. Just flip them over and trim off your excess, just like that. Okay. Now your next step that you're going to do in the process of making your minion is we're going to make the headband. And this piece is about 1/4 inch wide going this way. And this piece right now is about 2 inches long. We don't really need it that long, but I like to cut longer than we absolutely need and then trim off the rest for excess purposes. So we're going to put our adhesive across our minion, or you can just do it on the back of your black and then lay your black down. Okay, so we have our headband. And then we're going to flip it over again, and we're going to trim off our excess so that we whoops, get a little bit on the edges here. Again, I apologize for the lighting. It is not the best in my craft room here. Okay. So now of this little yellow minion, we now have the vest, the arms, and the headband. Or sorry, the vest, the feet, and the headband. We're going to do the Cyclops eye. So here again, you're going to take your Stampin' Up! Owl punch. To do the Cyclops eye, we're going to punch one of these two big circles in white, whisper white, and then we're going to punch one black in the little dots. Now, if you choose to have your minions have two eyes, like some of these ones do, go ahead and just punch two smaller white ones and then color them in with black dots in the middle. But we're going to make the Cyclops one because I think he's cuter. So we've got our white piece of paper right here. We're going to put that in and we're going to punch one big of the white circles. And this one is a little hard to get around, not some of the littler pieces not punching with it. So I actually do punch two, and then if I have to, I have a backup. So actually one of them just punched through, so that's good. There's my extra. Okay. And then we're going to take our piece of black cardstock, and we're going to punch one of these little circles, the smaller circle up here. We'll put that in. This one should be an easy one to get right in, right on the edge. And just punch one little circle right out of it. There we go, right there. Okay, so this is going to be the Cyclops eye. We're just going to glue those together, your black one on top of your white one. Real simple. I'm just going to use a little bit of my snail adhesive here And you can put it towards the center. Mine up here and this one kind of leans a little bit more towards the right. It all depends what kind of look you're looking for with your Cyclops. For this case, I'm going to try to center it here as much as I can. There we go. Okay, now that we have our Cyclops eye, we're going to put a little adhesive on the back of the white circle here. Okay. And we're going to adhere that straight to the middle of our minion. Right there. Okay. He's starting to look more like a minion. Now we need what I found to be the hardest part, and that is to cut the pieces for the hands. I just took my piece of yellow that I punched my owl out of earlier, and I cut out just a nice thin little strip. So there again, this is about 1.5 inches to 1.75 inches long, and very, very narrow, because you don't want your arms to be very wide at all. So we have that. And then to get the hands, we're actually going to go back to our piece of black that we punched the eyes out of. And we're going to drop it down into our punch here towards the bottom of the actual owl. Then again, I apologize for the lighting. It's horrible. But it's right here. And you're going to punch out a set of feet. So in this case, now we have a black piece that has just feet on it. But now we're going to take that piece and we're going to cut off the 2 itty bitty little feet. Try not to lose them, as I have about 30 of them in my carpet because they are so small. Okay. And now we're going to take our yellow strip that we just cut, and we're going to cut that in half. And here's where you can have a lot of fun with your minions, whether with the expression of their hands, if you want the hands extremely close to the body, like this one is, if you want them spread out in celebration mode, or whatever you decide to do for your minions, that's totally up to you. But I have my 2 yellow strips. I'm going to lay them down, and I just like to run my adhesive runner over them. Whatever works for you best. This is what I do for these little strips. Then I just let them come up with my finger. Take one of these little itty bitty little teeny tiny hands right here that we just punched. And now they're feet, but now they will be hands. And catch them with the end of the yellow that we just cut. Press it on. So now we have our little hand here. And we're going to grab our little minion. And for this sake, we're going to make him look like he's got a hand kind of reaching out further, because I think it's cute. So there's that one. And we're going to do the same with the other one. Take your little hand, stick it onto the yellow, or stick the yellow piece onto the hand. Make sure it actually does stick to the hand. I have had that happen a couple times where it doesn't stick to the hand, and then it falls off your minion. Okay, there's the other one, and we're going to make it look like he's just kind of partying hardy here. So there we go. So there we go. That is the minion using the owl punch. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to assemble the card itself using the Big Shot, or like the Stampin' Up Texture Boutique, and doing assembly. So stay tuned. Thanks.